Breaking NFL news, the Kansas City Chiefs are sending Skyy Moore to the San Francisco 49ers in a pick swap. Let's talk about it. It's the KCSM breaking news team. Tucker Franklin hanging out with you here on a Wednesday night. Don't think you guys expected to get some Wednesday night breaking news here, but we got it. The Blazer is back. I got the Zach Greinke shirt on too. A little throwback for the folks at home, rocking the Zach Greinke A shirt. Coach Dooley is right. This is my Super Bowl, folks. The breaking news team. I had to do it. Skyy Moore going to the San Francisco 49ers for a 6-7 pick swap. 6-7. And we will get to see Skyy Moore in a different uniform for the first time in his career. Skyy Moore obviously, has not had the most shining NFL career in Kansas City. Obviously scored the touchdown in the Super Bowl. Phenomenal moment for him. Phenomenal moment for Skyy Moore. But recently, seems like came down with the case of the yips. They did get a pick swap in 27. Thank you for that, Jeremy Bloss. So shout out to everybody hanging out with me in the chat. Shout out to Lily. Look at Lily hanging out here. Lily's getting in on the breaking news team, and she's always hanging out with me as well. Appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat. Let us know where you're watching this show at right now. Well, here's the thing about this trade is that it was kind of on the wall earlier today that the 49ers were probably going to make a move because of the suspension to Demarcus Robinson that came down as well. And they have a ton of injuries in their wide receiver room. This is from Adam Schefter here. Chiefs sending Skyy Moore to the Niners. The Niners have been decimated with injuries at wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk is recovering from a knee injury. Jawan Jennings has been dealing with a calf injury. Jordan Watkins has a high ankle sprain. Demarcus Robinson is facing a 3-game suspension. In comes Skyy Moore. Skyy Moore will probably get way more playing time in San Francisco than he would have gotten in Kansas City. So great for Skyy Moore. I think it works out for them as well. I know there was a little bit of other wide receiver trades as well that happened with Devon Vele getting sent down to the Saints for a 4th. That's off the top of my head. But appreciate everyone hanging out with me here live at the time as we are breaking down Skyy Moore to the 49ers. This is a move that, I think some people speculated that the Chiefs could be willing to trade Skyy Moore, be able to move off of him. The market ended up being just right for them with the 49ers having the need that they had. And then Adam, thank you for your question here. The Chiefs, they're going to swap 6th and 7th round picks in 2027. That is the compensation. The 49ers get Skyy Moore. The Chiefs and the Niners will do 6th and 7th round pick swaps in 2027. So yes, Julia, you were right. Julia Gulia, that football show will never be the same. I did send link out to people to see if we will get anyone on here. Let me send this link to Matt Verderam. I think he might be en route to Dallas, or not Dallas, Detroit still, another D city. Let me text it to him. I'm going to see if I can get Matt Verderam on. Are you still driving? Question mark. All right. We'll see if we can get him on here and talk about this, the Skyy Moore trade. But yeah, I want to know. Let me know in the chat how you guys will remember the Skyy Moore era in Kansas City. Look, maybe it's that punt return. Maybe it was the punt return that sold the 49ers on like, hey, let's get him in here. Let's get these guys going. Yeah, love to get Craig Stout on here. He'll be on the lab here in a little bit. Don't worry, Craig. You'll get your fix of Craig Stout here in about 40 minutes. Corn Dog is a great memory. Look, Bumpa BB says we fleeced the Niners. Brock Purdy throws a little bit lighter ball than Mahomes, so maybe he'll have an easier time catching. Could be a possibility. Midnight GTCS says touchdown in the Super Bowl and a huge punt return after the championship game to set up a score. Wish he would have been better, but he had his moments. Absolutely. Skyy Moore did have his moments. We cannot forget this. He contributed to that Super Bowl run and to that Super Bowl victory And man, it's something happened. Something happened. Maybe we'll never know. But appreciate all of his contributions to the team, especially during that Super Bowl run, as you guys have already mentioned. Uh, Look, his first year was a lot better than what people. That first year was better than I think what people remember. So appreciate all his contributions to what he did. As Julia Gulia mentions, if you are late to this, it is a 6th, 7th round pick swap as well. That is what it is. KL368 says Sleeper just posted sneaky ad for the 49ers. Could be. He's going to legit get some playing time there, though, guys. Like I think this is a move for like it makes sense for Skyy Moore to go there because he's actually going to be able to play. Where the path for him on the roster here just it was a little too narrow. You had Tyquan Thornton coming on and playing pretty well. You had all these guys in this wide receiver room. Jalen Royals was making the math a little bit tough. And look, I talked about this on Monday's KCSN update if you guys listened to this, but the wide receiver math got a little tricky, especially when you start to think about running back. Are they going to keep 4 running backs? Are they going to keep Carson Steele as a fullback and as a running back? In that case, you really feel like they're going to take 4 tight ends too, with the way they've been using the tight end rotation. They're going to keep Kelsey. They're going to keep Noah Gray. Robert Tonyan has been playing well as the chairman and CEO of the Big Bob Booster Club. He looks pretty damn good so far this season, so you have a hard time not keeping him. Jared Wiley's a guy that they love in that building. So, like, that's going to be 4 tight ends. You're talking about 4 tight ends. Now you're talking about 4 running backs if you want to end up keeping Carson Steele as well. The wide receiver math gets a little bit tricky. And also, when you talk about the wide receiver math, Rashee Rice isn't going to be suspended for the first 4 games at least. So you have to have him into that equation as well. So do you want to keep 7 wide receivers so you already have an extra one on the roster when he gets suspended? I don't know. That's going to be something that's going to be very interesting to see. Yeah, hell yeah, Weston repping the Big Bob Booster Club. Bob, you know I'm rocking the Buc-ee's hat. This is the go-to hat here. A little dirty. I need to take a little lint roller to it, but we are hanging out here on the breaking news team talking about the Chiefs trading wide receiver Skyy Moore and a 7th to the 49ers for a 6th round pick. That is in 2027. So not this upcoming draft. It'll be the next draft after the Chiefs give up Skyy Moore in a 7th for a Niners 6th as well. Other trades. This Adam Schefter just tweeted this one out. Other trades as well. The Broncos trade Devon Vele to the end of 7th to the Saints for a 4th. I've mentioned that trade at the top of the show. There's been some movement really coming down here as we are getting really close to cut down day. Weston, put a pin in that because there is something I want to talk about with that. And I'm sure that the lab will hop on as well here in a few minutes. Not a few minutes. I mean, they still got 40 minutes before the show starts, but they'll hop on. They've got some stuff to talk about. We need some interior D-line. There's somebody I got my eye on that I think Chiefs fans will be familiar with. Ron the Ronster Swanson says Matt Derrick seems pretty certain that the Chiefs will carry 7 this season and said to expect to see a Remigio in packages with the 1s and 2s against the Bears. I see that's also a really good point, Ron, because I wasn't calculating Remigio into that, and they love him as a starter. That's the other thing, or not a starter, as a returner, as a starting returner. They have him listed as that. So there's been a lot of trades, been a lot of movement. The Jets are a team that have had a lot of movement. So let's talk about the Vikings also trading Harrison Phillips and a 7th to the Jets for 2 6th-rounders. The Browns traded Jawan Briggs and a 7th to the Jets. So the Jets traded for 2 defensive tackles today. That's weird, right? You know who the Jets have on their roster? Matt Reeves nailed it. They have Derek Nottie on the roster currently. If they're trading for 2 defensive tackles, the Chiefs, are kind of in need of a defensive tackle. Maybe the writing's on the wall there for Derek Nottie. I'm sorry, Weston. I'm sorry, Weston. I've got my eyes on Derek Nottie. I know. I can't quit Derek Nottie. But here's the other thing about Derek Nottie. He's a body, and which is something that they don't really have right now in this defensive end room. And that's they do, Kenneth. You're right. They do have Quinn Williams on their roster. Imagine, imagine if they imagine if they just said, "Yeah, we're gonna trade for these two defensive tackles." Quinnen, we'll see you later. That'd be good. That'd be good. Thank you for shouting out Lily, Matt. Appreciate that. I should actually just put Lily. Lily's actually more active than the breaking news team is. Look at her. Could not be bothered by Skyy Moore getting traded. That's too bad. Well, if you want anything, any in-depth breakdowns on Skyy Moore getting traded, anything like that, you go to kcsn.com, subscribe there. Hey, also, if you are a new subscriber to kcsn.com, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tacos for Life will give you a $40 gift certificate to Tacos for Life. Pretty good deal, especially when you consider that a kcsn.com premium subscription is $30. So you are actually getting $10 in tacos back when you subscribe to kcsn.com. We got all kinds of great content over there. Tyler Brown kind of running point for you over there, getting you what you need to know. Herbie Teope, boots on the ground. What a guy. I love me some Herbie Teope. Love my conversations with Herbie. He's out there. He's writing up some stories. You got obviously the film reviews from Kent Swanson, Maddie Lane, and you got the analytics from Joseph Hefner as well. Everything that you could need in a Chiefs season, we got you covered. KCSN.com. Go get a subscription there. You can also subscribe for free as well. No problem. We'll get you some free stuff in there as well. But premium subscription does get you that $40 gift certificate to Tacos for Life. So go check that out. KCSN.com. Super quick, super simple. Boom, boom, boom. KCSN.com. Go check that out. Appreciate everybody in the chat hanging out with us here. We got about 350 of you on YouTube, 2,400 of you on YouTube or on X, excuse me. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. This is a little bit of a pre-lab appetizer as Skyy Moore does get traded to the San Francisco 49ers. It's Skyy Moore in a 7th to the 49ers for a 6th in 2027. The NFL trades have been popping today. We will see. Let me know in the chat who you guys want to see the Chiefs make moves for. I have a feeling this might be pretty active. Chiefs might be pretty active when it comes down to cut down day, seeing if they can grab some guys, seeing if they can trade some guys that they already got on the roster. Appreciate everything going on, everyone in the chat as well hanging out. But let us know where you're watching from today. Daniel Boardman wants to know, when are you coming to New Brunswick, Texas to visit the Giant Buckies? I think I got to get out there, Daniel. I think I got to. Big Buckies guy, obviously, if you guys don't know, but I got to get out there. Joseph Jackson asked a question. Do you think there will be other moves? Yeah, I do. I do, Joseph. I'm wavering back and forth, and I think Weston kind of hits it here too. Interior D line and maybe a corner. I think maybe a safety would probably be more likely than a corner at this point. D line needs some help, I think, on the interior, especially. You need body. Chris Jones. I mean, we just had Steve Spagnuolo go up to the podium and say, like, "Hey, Chris can't play every snap." Last year, Chris Jones played a career high of percentage of snaps. Like, you can't have that for Chris Jones, who is over 30 now. Zadarius Smith, that's a good name. Christopher Burrow throwing out that there. Thank you for hanging out with us in the chat. Matt Reeves says he's surprised by the timing of this, but the 49ers were needy. They were needy. As I read off earlier, they had some problems in the wide receiver room, especially with DeMarcus Robinson's 3-game suspension coming down. Look, hand up. This one's I'll own this one. Didn't know DeMarcus Robinson was on the Niners until I was actually watching Niners Raiders highlights from their preseason game, and I saw DeMarcus Robinson come down with the pass. And I said, "Oh, I didn't know he was still playing. I didn't know he was in San Francisco. Last I remembered him was being in LA with the Rams." But we'll see. Major Chip Hazard says we shouldn't have let Jay Reed go. Hindsight's 2020, fellas and ladies. Hindsight's 2020. It's easy to say that now. It really is, but I do agree with you. I love me some Justin Reed. Lucas, come on, man. Does Skyy Moore deserve a breaking news segment? Dude caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I like the dog on Skyy Moore as much as any of us out there, right? But I mean, look, Chiefs trade him. He's a Super Bowl champion, scored a touchdown. Appreciate his contributions to the kingdom, especially a 2027 6th-round pick. Charles Nelson asked left guard. Yeah, that's going to be a question. That's going to be something we're going to be watching pretty close here in this third preseason game. So we will see how that goes at left guard. The problem is there's not a ton of free agents out there. I haven't really dove too into like who they can trade for either, but we'll see. My Red Corp says, I wish Skyy the best. He was a good kid. Yeah, I wish Skyy the best too. I hope he goes off and obviously it's something mental. I think he even said that after the game, after the preseason game against the 49ers, where it's something is mental with him. And look, maybe a guy who can really benefit from a change of scenery, and I hope he does. Man, I hope he goes off for San Francisco. He plays well. He's going to have an opportunity to play a lot. Like as I mentioned, I mean, Brandon Ayuk is recovering from injury. Jawan Jennings has a calf injury. Jordan Watkins has a high ankle sprain. Demarcus Robinson. That's 4 guys right there that are going to be sidelined for a little bit, and Skyy Moore's going to have the opportunity to play. We will see. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us here. If you want more content, obviously make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe. Darren, it is a 6-7 pick swap. 6-7. 6-7 pick swap. The Chiefs give up a 7th to get the 49ers 6th-round pick in 2027. So that is going to be not this draft, but the next draft. Rob, that was a funny comment. Yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't want to butcher your name. Kerpaka 07. Definitely is not how you say it, but Moore will literally be number 2 on the 49ers right now. Yeah, I mean, like he's gonna go there and he's gonna get some like legit snaps with the one. So like they are that decimated with injuries. That is very true, Steven. In fact, Skyy Moore with 2 more rings than Randy Moss, and both have played for the 49ers. Crazy stats. Look at the chat throwing out stats. Shout out chat. Steven, great stat. Another Steven Beal in the chat saying, who else could we trade? Steele or Jack or someone else? I think that there is like Carson Steele. Maybe they could try to get a trade for him. I don't know, but I do think that there are players that the Chiefs could trade to other teams that are kind of hurting right now. But we'll see. I don't know how many more guys they will trade. But they had an excess of wide receivers on this team. That's something that we knew, that they had an excess of wide receivers. Josh Williams, major chip hazard throws out there, was a name that was kind of thrown out there. He clearly is not going to play with the ones. They didn't want to put him out there last year. They didn't want to put him out there even close in the preseason this year. So something's happened with Joshua Williams, and that was a trade that was thrown out there by ESPN. I forget who it was exactly, but it was thrown out there for a 6th for next year. So the Chiefs already just had now this is 2027. So the upcoming draft, I think they only have their own picks, and there's a potential that they have a 7th, I think, for Hendershot, something like that. But they own their own picks. They don't have anything extra as of right now. But we'll see how that all shakes out. Go for a couple more minutes here as we're getting you a little bit of a pre-appetizer. Well, no, that's not a pre-appetizer. This is just the appetizer. We're hors d'oeuvres for the KC Laboratory going live here in about 30-ish minutes. So we appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Saying Skyy Moore, breaking news team for Skyy Moore getting traded to the San Francisco 49ers. Oh. Did that just happen, chat? Or is Schefter tweeting this out late? Yeah, Schefter's tweeting this out late. Never mind. It was the Vikings trading Harrison Phillips. I should have known that already. Yeah, Kenneth, the Chiefs did pick up a 4th from trading Joe Thuney, but they traded it in the draft last year to get Noel Williams, I want to say. Let me double check that. 2025 NFL draft. They traded it. I think it was for Noel Williams, but They did already use that pick that they got from let's see. If you guys don't know this, Wikipedia is actually really good about tracking trades, especially with all of the stipulations involved. Like you could see the L'Jarius Sneed pick. I do think that it was Noel Williams, but yeah. Rob, why doesn't anyone else in KCSN think this is important enough to join Breaking News Team? I want you to know that they did, but I called ISO ball. I said, ISO Joe, get out of here. This is me. I'm soloing this one up. I got it. No worries. We'll talk about it. That's Super Bowl hero Skyy Moore. Damn right it is, Darren. Damn right it is. I think that's a good note to end on. So appreciate everyone hanging out with us on the Breaking News Team. Getting it all set up for the KC Laboratory going live tonight at 8 p.m. Just here in about 30-ish minutes if you're watching live. Or honestly, you know what? Podcasts work too. Maybe you're listening to the lab right after you're listening to this podcast here. So we really do appreciate everyone hanging out with us. So once again, Skyy Moore traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2027 6th-round pick. The Chiefs giving up a 2027 7th-round pick to the Niners as well. So appreciate the chat. Chat was popping off. Appreciate you guys. We'll be live again here very shortly. For myself, Tucker Franklin, this has been the KCSN Breaking News Team. Go to kcsn.com, subscribe there, become a free sub, become a paid sub. We don't care. We just want you there. We'll talk to you soon.